time to time. From paramount security matter wasn't down to now Kwara South. And we've all been hearing about what is coming to the aid of the people around that place. So we are also asking that those of us who are praying and those of us who can do one or two things to assist them more. Actually, the Kwara State government and federal government is trying when it comes to security matter now, but then we still need more because the kidnapping is still existing, the killing is still existing, and many things still happen. Though the news is not carrying most of these things. I remember 5 days ago, my younger brother called from the village and he said, "Brother, please pray. We saw these people passing out. We never know whether they will stop somewhere and come and attack the village or not." And what actually happened was that there's a place called Bani, there in Kayama. It's a mining environment. So they took 2 Chinese, they kidnapped them and put them on bike. And they were taking them from that place. They will have to pass through Kayama and go to the game reserve. So my people saw them. They also passed through Kayama, and it's like my village and Kayama, everywhere was, in confusion. Everybody was just running up and down, and these people, they have come and things like that. So they took those Chinese to the bush, and the whole community, I think 4 and 3 days ago, everywhere is calm now. But then we have told all the community leaders and all the vigilantes are to work. So, also concerning the tribes of Kwara State, I know much about Kwara North. We have 5 local governments that are not Yoruba speaking local governments, and we have several tribes there. Majorly, we have Boko Baru, we have Barutin people, which are Barubas, and also have Lobis in Eju and Patiki local government. So CONAECDA is working tirelessly how to bring these major tribes and other tribes together. And with this conference, from what I'm hearing yesterday and today, by the grace of God, before next year, I want to believe that all these tribes will be represented here, and as the Lord is helping us. We are also looking at what to do. Most of our traditional rulers have no ability of their own, like to talk when it comes to the issue of security and some other developmental issues, to talk to government because of this kind of domineering force that the government is exercising on them. I remember there was some harassment to the emir of my village on some things he was trying to do, and was trying to come up with bringing Boko Haram language to schools. Though the people of my community have not accepted that as much, but we are still pushing. And I believe that after this conference, by next year, before next year, great achievements will happen in that area. So actually, in Boko Haram language, we have some literatures on ground, how to read and write. Some of our forefathers have worked with that. We also have dictionary and language. We translate Bible in our language. And also the same with Nupe, the same with Bariba and Barute local government. They all have these literatures. But we want to see a way how government can allow us to put them into. Because the language, the indigenous language of that place is gradually fading. Actually, that is what prompts us to come up with this. That is fading, the local dialect is fading, and other tribes are taking over. So, like it's been said since yesterday, if we can put more effort to these local languages, find a way of it. He also has started already. It will be good. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, our brother. Thank you so much for this insight. Yes, do we have any? Yes. We are trying to wrap up the session now. It's okay. Please, just leave it.
Please, don't be angry with me because our people say that a weak person will collect his hand on a strong person with teeth. If somebody is weak and you don't know how you will do, buy time to do it. So, what happens is that the structural marginalization has taken place in the Nigerian context, and FCT people decided that the best we will do at January this year, we decided to go the entire 17 kingdoms, educating people about political facts, so that we can be able to see how we can be part of the marginalization. I think it's very important for us here. If we apply it, all this mess will not exist. I will have a gentleman here. Please, how many local boards and how many political parties do we know are registered in Nigeria now? How many? How many are these? My brother, for this state of Nigeria, Middle Belt or another continent state, there is 19 political parties. One has been added and making 20, and these are here. What it means is this, and we did that in FCT, and I want to say that I think it's very important we can duplicate it in our domain. We went to every local government in the FCT that has 62 political wards. What it means is that in each political ward, there should be political party machineries leaders in each political ward, 19, so that when you are looking for election, this 19 people will now get their members under them, so that you will generate 19 councillors for a ward, 19 chairmen for the local government chairman, 19 House of Reps, 19 senators, so that when election happens, the person who eventually win know that in a ward, 18 are at home, only one, oh, isn't it? If we do that, that is full democracy. Democracy is government of the people, by the people, and for the people. Nigerian government is paying these 19 political parties big money so that they can manage and deal with their political structures. So that we won't have only 2 or 3 parties playing with our head and we are fighting them. And we did that after that we did Heritage Day and we celebrated this. This is a copy of it. There is no time I mentioned all of them and they are here. I was a meeting in the secretariat. Thank you very much. I think it's very important to say.
Thank you, sir. I think we have the photocopy of the secretariat. It's very important. Thank you. Okay, we'll be taking about, I think, last report, last but not the least. Or do we still have any statements? Okay, our reports from Adamawa State, as it normally used to say, Adamawa the land of beauty. We have 78 ethnic nationalities in Adamawa State. 78. You know, there's a kind of dialect that comes inside languages. Then it becomes up to 100 or whatsoever. So, languages. So, in terms of security, to God be the glory, our government is trying, and almost 80 to 85% secured now by the special grace of God. Tomorrow, by the grace of God, our governor will be receiving awards from the presidency with other governors. One of the best governors in infrastructural development, which we will be receiving award here again today in the evening, the same infrastructure. If you go to Adamawa State, if you have been coming to Adamawa for, let's say, 10 years back, today if you go to Adamawa State, I want to assure you that you will get lost. So far, we have 6 to 7 flyovers that was built. All those runabouts that you normally used to know, it becomes flyovers now. And so other interchanges in local governments. So this year, there's a kind of issue in terms of communal clashing between two tribes, Wambile and Mali, then Chobo and Bachama from their own axis. Early this year, then we approached His Excellency, our governor, concerning this issue of communal clashes. Immediately, he swung into action. And he asked me, Chairman, okay, give me names among people so that I will bring security and then this committee will go over the law and then to see what they can be able to do. Then I sent 2 people from the CONAECDA languages from our side, and then he picked from the security apparatus and then many other agencies. And then they swung into action after 6 months now. It was 3 weeks ago that they submitted their reports to His Excellency Governor Ahmadu Bola, and then immediately he summoned all the traditional rulers, those involved from all those areas, together with me to come and sit on table. And then this is exactly what happened. Governor said, please, this is our state. I don't want this fighting or whatsoever because of boundary adjustment or whatsoever. Please be attentive and then calm down. Shook their hands and then they will press each other and then we all left. Between February, as our brother from the Bay State, Takania, said, we had this committee that came from this intangible cultural heritage from CONAECDA, in connection with CONAECDA and people from Abuja that came. We went around together with them. We visited almost 8 languages, and then it was very, very interesting. We had a mother tongue workshop between May and June this year. Between July and August, we had our CDS cultural engagement. Between April, October, November, and this December, there's one that is ongoing. We'll be holding today. Well, let me say ongoing now, which is supposed to be there, but one of my state is representing us. So we had our partner engagement with Universal Basic Education in August 19, 2025. Then we had seminar on the importance of language and societal development this November 29, before we arrived here. Then we visited 7 new chiefdoms and emirate that was created just of recent this year between April and May, that our governor has created 7 new chiefdoms and emirate. Please, a round of applause for this. It's an achievement. And all this is from our own ethnic nationalities. And that is why one of the tribes that is giving us headache, they rise up and then they say they will take this issue to court and whatsoever. Because why all those places have been out of the Lamido of Adamawa, you know, so issues are now in the court concerning that. But the first engagement now, it has been thrown out. So they say they will take it to appeal court. So continue to pray for this so that nothing will happen. Yes, our proposed activity for 2026, first quarter, by the grace of God, we will be engaging our community leaders on the theme, how leaders are developed. This is the broad theme that will be taught during the leadership retreat, that we will call all presidents, secretaries, treasurer, and PRO. These are the more 4 significant positions I'm not saying that other positions are not significant, but this 4 will invite all of them, the 76, we will invite them to a big hall that is bigger than this, so that we rub minds together with our experts that will be coming from far to come and have this activity together with them. Okay, I think this is what we had from January to November 29 this year. Thank you very much and God bless you. Okay, without wasting much of our time, I will invite the Secretary General to please come forward. He has something for the Secretariat for him to present to all of us. Please round of applause as we invite the Secretary General. Can you please clap again? This man is sacrificing himself for this organization to work stronger, and indeed he is trying to take himself.
It makes it closer when standing here, but I'm going to be doing a lot of work. And I don't know whether I should be sitting down. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. Please permit me to sit down while I do this, because I'm going to be explaining a lot of programs. But before I go on, this morning we were supposed to have engagement with the federal government regulation. We are yet to hear from them. The information we have is like there are a lot of issues that require their attention. So if we get there, if we're able to get there within the time, fine and good. If we're not able to get there within the time, we will round up what we're doing. It's our annual conference, so we're having a conference. I believe we're getting certain things done. So continue with that, and then we'll see how God is going to help us. So I will be sharing with us some of the programs that came out of the resolutions of CONAECDA in the past 10 years, and then explaining them so that many of us who are here do not know what these programs are all about and what we are doing. And so we may leave here without a proper understanding of all those things and not even knowing how to get involved. So if I explain it, I think it will help us a lot. It's our decision that we should be able to do that so that people can also ask questions. I'm going to start with just a brief on the history programs, including the intangible culture. Now, some years back, we decided that we are going to be the ones to write our history and tell our story. Because if we don't do it, people have written our history. In fact, some people have written our history and claim things that are not true. Some ethnic groups have their names changed. They are being called sometimes names they consider derogatory. And I'm going to look for trouble a little bit from my brothers in Gombe. You know, I had discussion with the Tangale people, and we have Tangale people. You know, we have one group in Gombe that is called Tangaleba, but they are fighting among themselves on who is Tangale and who is not Tangale. So I was with the people, the Tangale who are from Biliri, and they said they are the original Tangale. The other people are not Tangale, they are Katugu and Shongom. So I went looking for Katugu and Shongom, and some people there said yes, we are Katugu and Shongom, but we are also Tangale. Now, if they don't tell their story, and they allow somebody to tell their story, they can be lost. I hope I'm communicating. So we want you to tell your stories. And we have encouraged every ethnic group to write their history. In my place, my dad wrote his own version of the Tula history. And others have written their own too. So we have different stories related to the history of the Tula people being written by different categories of people. In fact, I was down home. So apart from the history and culture of Tula that was written by my father, another person wrote his own. There are some discrepancies among their stories. There is also another person who wrote the history of Christianity in Tula land. I'm just giving an example. But that means at least the future generations can read and compare and know where they came from. And we're encouraging every ethnic group to do that. Now we are setting up a library where all this collection of history books of our people will be archived. I hope I'm communicating. So apart from putting it in the national libraries, please, if you have any of your written history, try to share it with us in the secretariat so that we can put it together. Right now we have a proposal to document some of this historical research digitally. And we're hoping that anybody who has written history, if we're going to document it in the digital form, we're going to give him some amount of money, okay, to encourage him with his work. And then we put it in the digital archive. I'm not going to tell you the amount of money, but it is in dollars, not in there. Is that okay? And but we can save the dollars to there.
Yes.
So, intangible cultural history, we are the richest part culturally in the whole of Nigeria. And I can say probably in the whole of Africa. We are dealing with over 400 ethnic groups. And I can tell you that the few states I have traveled to, I have seen traditional dance of different types. In fact, there are some dance that if you give me $1 million, I cannot dance it. Because I just cannot be able to do it. But it is here. Maybe it will just, if you say it is 1 million, I will go and do training. But I know I cannot dance it. And they are the beauty of our cultures. So we started work on that. And we have captured some states. Somebody said yesterday that maybe we should extend it to other states. The problem is that it's a very costly endeavor. I can tell you it is very expensive. For each of the ethnic groups that we travel to, we have cameramen, not one. We have dancers, different groups. There's travels. The people who are traveling have to be accommodated. So it's an expensive thing. And as I reported, the funding for that project, with the stop of funding from USAID, that project also had to stop. But let's keep praying that another opportunity will open and then we'll get it across. Now we have the tapes, but we don't have money to edit them, prepare them, and give it to each community. You know, everything has its own money. If we carry this conference money, use it to produce them, and then we don't have conference. So we do not have money designated for that. But we are working to see if we can get some money and some equipment that will enable us to edit them so that we take it back to all the communities so that you can have it. We also want to make sure that we have it online. Maybe if it is possible later today, we may show you some of the clips. But we have sent the links around where you can link up and watch some of the video clips. I hope I'm communicating. And I know a lot of people have watched them, some of the dances that are there. We will still try to send it across. So you can visit those websites and then you see some of those dances being displayed and then being posted. So we will continue to work on that. Still on the history, as we said, we have some, you can see some of the young men that are there. We are hoping we're going to improve on our media crew. So If you invite us, we will come to your cultural festival and see what we can do. But another thing we want to do is that this year, we want all the communities that want to be part of the compendium of cultural festivals that we're going to produce to please capture as many videos, as many pictures, all the cultural addresses, the pictures you have, put them together and send it to us. We're going to put them online and we're going to produce hard copies. So the cultural compendium will show different cultural dances and things that have been done by our communities. And we'll put it together, as I said, we'll be online and we'll have soft copies. I hope I'm communicating. So we will also produce hard copies. The hard copies will definitely be very voluminous, but we're going to do them in volumes. So I'm hoping that many of our traditional cultural festivals will be captured in that. If we have it, people sometimes come and say, what do you have? What culture do you have? Who do we have? Now it is those ones we can show them. And somebody will say, I like this one. I like that one. Can I help them? Can I do something about it? And it will be easier for us to channel such interested people to the community so that they participate. I hope I'm making some sense. Still on that, one of the things we hope to do, and I will probably ask that we nominate some people at this conference, is to have the Central Planning Committee for the first CONAECDA Triannual Cultural Festival. Am I making any sense? The idea is that the way we are having this conference, we'll have cultural festival of all our indigenous communities in one place. It is not going to be a one-day festival. It's going to be several days because it will mean maybe tens of cultural dances and troops are taking place. I hope I'm making some sense. So, please, I don't think we need to waste time. Let's do this thing with this thing. Please, can we have volunteers who will be glad to join in the Central Planning Committee for our cultural festival? We're going to give you 2 years to plan. Volunteers, yes, please. It's a voluntary thing. It requires a lot of work. Follow you, you raise your hands as she comes around. Oh, please, can another person help me from here? Yes. Okay, all right, let's do it this way. Write your name, your phone number, and your state, and just take it and drop it and with her at the table there. I think that would be okay. Come. So just write your name, your phone number, and your state, and then you drop it with her. Please, hello. Please, the membership is not final. I hope I'm clear. The membership is not final. You have volunteers. We will look at the people, we will look at what is there, we will contact you. And then where we need additional hands, we look for the hands back. I hope I'm communicating. Please, let's not, we just ask of people who volunteer. So if somebody will not say, I answered me, they made me to do it to represent my state. I did not. No, if you are not going to, if you are not working properly, we'll tell you, nobody force you, you what? You volunteer back. So let's leave it at that for now. Other things will sort out. Hello? Now, the next one is the issue that has to do with the. Please, maybe let me allow space for questions before I go to the next topic. Please, is there anyone that has questions around the things I've discussed on history? History and culture, all that I've said now. If there's any question, because I'm going to go into a different topic in time. Yes, sir.
On the history.
Yes.
The communication you want to make.
Yes.
And writing.
Please, can we keep quiet?
you rightly pointed out that some of the districts, varies.
Yes.
And of course, coming from the same, almost similar tribe or something.
Yes.
So now, I want to believe if we have plans on how to harmonize the history so that, peradventure, like you rightly pointed, a Tangale man from Iri saying is the original Tangale man, and a Tangale man from Tungo Shugam and Tuguri are saying, hey, all of us will do the Iri are actually Tangale people from the same origin. You know, there are two different perspectives now.
Yes.
So how do you intend to harmonize when you collect all the histories so that you don't cause more problems than solutions?
Okay. All right, please let me say something. At our level, in terms of any documentation of history we are going to do, we are going to reflect diversities of opinion. We are not going to reach conclusions. Is that clear?
Yes.
So if we are going to, let me give you an example. If we are going to talk, the example you gave, we are going to be able to quote, according to so and so, this is the history of Tangale. According to so and so, this is the history of Tangale. There are diversities of opinion of their origin, who they are, and these are the different opinions. We stop there. We are not judges, we will not decide for you. So anybody who is reading now knows that you have 3, 4, 5, 6 opinion. Isn't it? When he reads it, he can take his decision. Am I making any sense? Please let me say something. In academic work, there are those ones where you have variations of opinion, and all you can do is take the variations of opinion. You don't reach a conclusion. But there are those ones that you can deduct from what you see and say, based on what you think this may be more authentic than this other one. But it may not be actually true, because there are some truths that are more than fiction, but they are true. So some of those things are there. Am I making any sense? So please, anything we are doing, our main work here is to create more harmony and understanding, rather than to create divisions and start taking sides. Because I can tell you, for instance, that the Dadia man who is here is actually a Tula man. They used to call them Tula Dadia. But he will laugh at it and probably protest. But he may agree also at the same time. Now, if I do that, I can do it in a way and say, look, according to the Tula people, Dadia people are part of them. But according to the Dadia people, they are not part of Tula. I'm taking care of both sides. I hope I'm communicating. So in terms of that, that is part of what I would like us to say.
Thank you very much. I think you actually referred to the latest session of the National Community Development Association. Thank you very much. Well, I want us to actually look at something very different when we're trying to put things in order. I think in every field of specialization, we have those who are referred to as authority. Historically, you will get those that we are also looking up to. So for us to harmonize these views that we're raising now, because like you mentioned, I think I've been going to see the job like this year before I come on stage to mention that. I want us to actually look at those who are going to harmonize this, because if we did not do the right thing, we want to put our children into confusion. Let's look at those who harmonize the view. Like we mentioned, Tangale's side, we also have the Tangale's side. Then we are aware that this is what we are suffering from globally. If statistics comes out, sometimes you will see the Fulani people are so majority. Let's be careful how we're going to roll out those statistics to the world. If we didn't put it in a very right perspective, we will put the world into confusion. I want us to be fair and be fair. And that is why when we go to some of the websites, historically you will see Bombay has 60,000 something Fulanis, whereas it's not true. It's not true. But those who actually have put out the statistic there are privileged to be the leaders at that time. Because I have a lot of things on the ground. That's why I mentioned this. So please, trying to put out the statistics to get those who can defend it very well. Those who can actually say what we have done is actually fair to the communities. So I want us to look at that very well.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for that. Please let me say that while we may have teams to edit, what we want is each community to tell their story themselves. I hope are you getting me? So that's why we're saying if you have your history, if you send it, it is what you will have as your history. So well, I'm just briefing you of what we're trying to do. And so that we don't take all the time discussing technicalities. In terms of the technicalities, yes, we will, those who are doing and working on it, we want to make sure that most of what we have is your story. But if we have access to stories from other places, we will collect them and put them and say, this story we got it from somewhere. I shared with Frank a story about Otangale, and he was shocked. He never knew that somebody has written that about Otangale. It was a story about how Otangale started eating human flesh. And we consider a history. It was written by a white man. And it is circulating. Am I making any sense? Now, if you don't know anything like that exists, you may not even be able to counteract it and give your own true explanation of your culture. Because the fact that somebody came and saw that in the house of the high priest there are scores of human beings, he concluded they are eating human beings without knowing that it is part of a cultural practice that has nothing to do with cannibalism. So what I'm saying is that we are encouraging you to please work on it. We will continue to put these things together, and there are times if you want to write your history, ask us, do you have any documents on our history? We send it to you, so that if somebody has written something about you that is not true, in writing you will be able to correct it. Am I clear? Ours is to facilitate, it's not to conclude, it's not to decide, it's just to facilitate so that you tell your stories yourself. I hope that is clear. Is that clear? Okay, let me take the last one before I come back to you. There is a hand.
Scholarship is about if you come later, for now, Dr. Solid and Jim and Agatha. Thank you.
Yes, give him first, then let's yes.
Okay, thank you, sir. I just want to suggest probably a better or easier way to get some of these documents. Instead of asking people to start sending me a new document or something, I want to believe all traditional council of all these ethnic minorities have documents that suggest their history. So why not CONAECDA just liaise with these traditional councils, traditional institutions, and get those documents instead of having to collect new documents entirely? It is just a solution. Thank you very much.
So we're having a suggestion that CONAECDA should interface with the various traditional councils and get official historical documents from them. So that will be added to our approach system. But please, one does not exclude the other. I hope I'm communicating. We have instances in which the traditional school try to protect itself. So it writes a history that favors it, while other people who have another version of the history have a different background. I don't know if I'm making any sense. So please feel free to still share with us your story individually, collectively, and we will also include that of the traditional rulers. Yes, there's a hand there.
Well, I would also want to appreciate the secretary. And we have to act from all indication, all we are saying is sensitization of the culture. If our people are sensitized on the culture and language use of their people, and the need to document things, I think it will help us in this area. A situation where I heard this morning that a population of the language is about 2,000 or less. I think it's something very strange for me. Because if Nigeria has been for more than 80 to 90 years, since 1914, I think if a household is married just 2 persons in a year, and they are given birth to 2 children per year, I think the population is more than that. That shows that the tribe has decided on its own to kill itself by maybe aligning with other languages. Because if you look at yourself as very minute, and then you begin to speak other languages, by the time you are doing census, so many persons will not want to align with a lesser language. And then it goes with that, let's say plateau here. And maybe you are from a particular language. Once you don't teach your children, the population keeps reducing. And until we tell our own language, by this sensitization, your language will continue to die. So I think this is a very good forum for us to go back. No matter how small your language is, keep it.
Hello, please, can we have one house?
Please, should be proud.
Photographers, leave the hall. Hello, those people, photographers, please leave the hall. And the rest of us, please, let's be quiet.
Once your child is proud to identify with your language, then the story will continue. But once you yourself have condemned your language, that you are a minority. In fact, when I came here, I can't speak Hausa, but I'm proud to identify with my language, and that's why my gala is here. It may be small, it may be big, but wherever the little man is, anywhere you are, no matter how minor we are, we always want to be living. We will not want to be another tribe. It might be bigger than us, but we want to be remembered. And I think it will go down to every language in CONAECDA here. Now, wherever you are, whether Hausa is big, whether Fulani is big, whether Igbo is big, speak your language to your child. And once
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Professor Simon. I'm the National President of Tanzania East Progressive Union. The idea of getting our history archived is a nice one, but the approach we are trying to take will take us a long time to achieve. I am thinking in CONAECDA will segment our ethnic nationalities into 6 or 10 regions, and then get students who will find some number of ethnic nationalities, sponsor them on a master's level or a PhD. That way, we can quickly gather data and then archive them. But if you dwell on committee volunteers to go around, certainly it may take a long time or it may not work at all. But if you have someone who will sponsor, the person knows that at the end of that exercise, you will own a degree, you will work hard to the effect of the assignment you have given him, which will benefit him thereafter. So I think if we take that route, it will be shorter for us, and we will be able to archive documents that can be used in the future.
Okay, let me have yeah. So we're taking that as an additional advice to add to what is there. But let me just give you the highlight. As I said, I'm just doing the briefing. There's a lot that is going on. One of the things that is going on right now is that the Plateau State University is already working on a history center that will also be doing masters and people working on middle belt community. The University of Jos History Department did some work on history of some of the communities in Plateau. So please, as I said, we're dealing with a very large network of communities, and people tell the stories in different ways. But we're just encouraging you that whether it is traditional rulers, historians, individuals, community development associations, please tell your story. And when you do it, share it with us. Is that clear? So there are a lot of our sons and daughters studying not only in Nigeria but even outside the world that are writing historical documents, and we are collecting some of that. There are some that have been written a long time ago, and some of them are being shared because some of them will not have access to them. They have been digitalized in Germany, in UK, and in other places. But they are beginning to share some of those books and materials with us so that we can have access to them. And what we're saying is that if we have access to them, you will be surprised. Recently, I was looking at languages of northern Nigeria. A lot of people in Jigawa and northern part of Bauchi that call themselves Hausawa today. When the colonial masters came, they were not. When the British came, they were not Hausa people. They are their languages and their names and ethnic groups. Today, they are lost completely. But when you get those documents, you begin to see and the names of the villages and the places that were located. So we are getting some of those things. I hope I'm communicating. So please, the advice we give will be incorporated in whatever we are doing, but we'll continue to work on it and we'll continue to share whatever information we have with you. So just as we mentioned, we want to encourage state government, universities. There are other institutions that even if you don't have money, they fund. Recently, there are adverts for seats, chairs, on history, on languages. For people to even go outside Nigeria to go and do research work on Nigerian languages in these universities. And sometimes we post it, hoping that at least somebody who is interested will what? Indicate interest and go and do it. TED Fund have scholarships for people who want to do research, researchers, lecturers in the university. It is actually learned for us if you are in the academic environment to see what is there. And we continue to work on that, as I said. Many historians are working with us. Some of them are professors, some of them are doctorate students, some of them are master students. And they are doing their work. What we do is collate whatever they are doing. And then we keep on putting it together. So the advice you are giving, they are all appreciated, and we will incorporate them in the implementation processes of what is being done. Thank you. You want to still talk about history? Something else? You want to ask a question? Okay.
My name is Yusuf, representing the Bijim people. And Bijim people are in Bauchi and Plateau State. I want to commend the CONAECDA even coming up with this movement. You know, when we talk of marginalization, all of us that are gathered here, we are victims of marginalization. We're talking of attacks, all of us are victims. And I pray that this thing will deepen so that the problem we're facing, and this will face it headlong, so that we will become victims of all these attacks and the rest of them. Because we're living in our ancestral land, and that these people want to, push us out of our lands. We pray that none of us, advocacy on the ground will not be victims. My question is, you talk of any ethnic group that will be having an annual festival should invite you people to come. What I want you to share more like this, as you people are coming, if we invite people to come, please share more light on the logistics. How many people will come, so that just come to the village and then we begin to struggle here and there. Just give us what it takes to.
Please, if you invite us, if we have logistics, we will come down asking for logistics. If we don't have logistics, we will tell you we do not have logistics to come. So when you don't see us, don't be angry that we say we will come and we do not come. Am I making any sense? But if you ask us and say, please send us the logistics, we will now send you the logistics depending on where you are and what you want us to come and do. For instance, we are going to Bijim. We have done a lot of work in the Bijim language and with the community. And a lot of our people have slept in Bijim villages. When we went the other time, you gave us your traditional yam and whatever. But we took care of ourselves. So please, if we cannot come because there's no resources, we'll let you know. And then if you feel you can provide it, then we'll let you know what is needed. Am I making any sense? Please, the Secretariat is not established. So please, I hope that is clear. Is that clear? So please, as we said, within our logistics, you see us. If the logistics will not be there, we'll let you know. And depending on what is there. But we have a small budget to visit a few communities. So please, even though we say you should invite us, it doesn't mean that every invitation will be honored. If we don't come to your home this year, maybe next year will come. That's why we say, if you can make videos, have pictures, have some of the speeches, and share it with us. It means even if you do not go, we can use those things to put it together in a compendium. I hope that is clear. Thank you. Please, it will soon be time for break and for our Muslim brothers to pray. But I'll just explain one other thing quickly. The ALPA, as we call it, Autochthonous Livestock Producers Association. What is it all about? Some years back, when this issue of herders farmers clashes narrative was going around, The government has tried several things. Peace building, what do they call it, Ruga, all sorts of things like that. But at the point in time, we felt, even though our communities are against certain things, anything that is a government policy that is designed for Nigerians in general and that affects us, we should be involved. It's not that we should just make, there's this thing, they say, throw in the baby and the bathing water. Okay? We don't want to be doing that. If there's an issue, we'll face the issue. But other things that are important, we should contribute and participate. So the question that was asked at the conference is this: do we keep livestock? And the answer is yes. At the point in time, statistics shows that the total number of cattle that non-Fulani people have is more than the number of cattle that Fulani people have. So why is it that anytime they are talking of cattle, they are only talking about Fulani? Now that's only cows. We have goats more than they have. We have sheep more than they have. We have pig and they don't have it. Isn't it? We have rabbits, they don't have rabbits. We have turkey, they don't have turkey. We have dogs, they don't have dogs. We have agwagwa, they don't have agwagwa. We have rats, they don't have rats. I don't know if I'm making any sense. So which means if you are talking of livestock, it is us.
We have snakes, we don't have snakes.
We have snakes. Yes. They don't have snakes. We have kura hyena. They don't have. So the question is, should we fold our hands and just be saying anything livestock, we don't agree? The answer is no. So, but we are not organized. There is no organization or body that takes care of our people as they rear these animals. So anytime you want to call livestock, they'll say, Miete Allah Cattle Breeders. That's the Fulani organization. Instead of calling it Fulani Community Development Association, they call it Miete Allah Cattle Breeders. I don't know if you see the problem there. So somebody is appropriating that to himself. So there's no problem, but we need to develop that, and that was why it came about that we said we need to have the Indigenous Livestock Producers Association. So we have our indigenous cows, we have our indigenous donkeys, indigenous goats, indigenous rabbits, and all sorts of things that we keep, and we will keep keeping them. So that's why we say we form that. Now it is expected that anybody who is interested, who keep these different types of livestock, should be able to be a member. And we should organize our people. So if in the local government, they are calling livestock producers, our people should be there, not only Fulani. Am I making any sense? If in the state, they are calling livestock producers, our association should be there to represent our people, not only Fulani. If at the national level they are calling livestock producers, our indigenous livestock producers should be there, not only Fulani. What are we going to be doing? We will build capacity, we will do training, we will link our people with government and with other organizations that want to help them. If it is ranches, we have land, we will do ranch. We will not wait for Fulani to come and do ranch on our land. Am I making any sense? Yes. If it is livestock abattoir, we will do livestock abattoir. We will not wait for Fulani to come and do abattoir for us. We know how to cut our animals and prepare them. If it has to do with live feed production, livestock feed production, we will do it. Take that has to do with livestock, we want to encourage our people to be involved. And that is why we form instead of using the word indigenous, we use autochthonous. Because in Nigeria, indigenous has been bastardized. Everybody goes anywhere and claim indigenous. But they cannot claim autochthonous. Livestock Producers Association, we are using Autonomous Livestock Producers Association. And we are registering members directly from the Secretariat. But when you can form clusters, you can form groups, and we are going to be working with all the development associations to ensure that our people, whether they are keeping goats, if it is 1, 1, 2, 2, 5, 5, in a village of 30 people, with an average of 5 goats, how many are there? 150 goats. So you can imagine where you have 10 goats per family, and you are having 200 people. You are actually talking of 2,000 goats in that place. So if we organize our people like that, they can get veterinary services, they can get training, and they can get help, rather than being abandoned to only be doing their own thing. And anything that comes to livestock, they'll say it's Fulani. And then we will be complaining. So sometimes they say herders and farmers, that animals of herders are eating our crops. We say we have animals, they don't eat our crops. If they eat it, we deal with the situation. Isn't it? So there's no reason why any Fulani will bring his cattle to eat our crops, because we too we have cattle, we too we have animals. So all those things is just nonsense. But how do we make sure that our lands are not taken over and given to Fulani? If there's going to be a grazing reserve in our village, it should be our cows that should be grazing, not that of Fulani. Am I clear? So that is what is there in the Alpha program. And there's a committee. Most of the people who are managing that are veterinarians. We have about 3 former registrars of the National Veterinary Council as members, directors of livestock in NAPRI in different places, many professors that are there that are managing the livestock program. And in Plateau here, the membership, as I said, is more than 200 already. I can't tell that of Gombe. Adamawa are also registered. Please, all of us that are here, if you want, take your membership form and fill in, and you can register and submit. Your address will show which state you are. You can take forms and register a cluster. When you go, you have 5, 6, 10 people register as a cluster of mixed farmers. Do you understand what I'm saying? That means you keep crops and you keep animals, and we will work with you in that regard. We want to make sure that in every state we are organized. We already have discussion with the Federal Ministry of Livestock, and we want to make sure that before we visit them, we have more than some 1,000 members registered, so that when we go, we say, look, we have these members. Anything you are going to do at the Federal Ministry, you must involve us. In Plateau State now, we are already involved. In fact, we are looking forward to having a liaison officer in the Ministry of Livestock. I hope I'm communicating. And there are programs running in your state, I can tell you. I was telling the people in Gombe that there's already a federal and World Bank assisted project running in Gombe. But our people are not participating and they don't know. So if we are not organized, then we cannot be involved. Is that clear? That's about Autonomous Livestock Producers Association. Please, we will break here. We are expected to be back by 2:30. It's 1 hour. So we're taking a long break. We'll be back by 2:30. When we come back by 2:30, we're going to be looking at security systems. And after the security system, we're going to look at mother tongue education. And then we'll also look at autonomous people's organizations and then programs of governance. Once we're through with that, we will now, by that time, we're hoping that we are getting towards the time for the award ceremony. The cultural troupe will come. We'll have about 30 minutes to 1 hour of different cultural dances, especially for those who want to see different plateau dances. The state cultural troupe will come and perform. So they will be performing while our guests will come in and join us, so that by 4, if they are here on time, by 4 on the dot, we continue with the program. Please, these briefings are important, and that's why let's try and be here on time to continue. So for now, we are on break. We can go around. I don't know if the lunch is available, but definitely lunch will be ready. We should be through before before that time. Thank you. When we come, you can ask questions. Thank you. We are praying.